What's going on? I had a bit of a breakthrough today. I think I am on the right track. Well, I knew I was on the right track before, but now I got it. Now I got it. So today is episode 8 of Seeds of Spring, March 27th, and it's almost 10 o'clock, 9:39. Let's say that. So a bit later than I usually want to, but it's still before 10. So like I'm being more vigilant in getting this stuff done, but it was a good day. It was a good day. It was a good day. Um, my God. Okay, so let me just jump right into it. This morning I was at work, and my manager and his wife, who is the office admin, they took off for lunch, and I was alone in the office, and this feeling it creeps up from my gut. It's in my gut to my heart, and then it just stays there, and it's just this anxiety fucking vibration that I just it makes me so uncomfortable. So it starts the racing thoughts. Anyways, so I wanted to I realized that it was a feeling that I had to kind of sit with and be not comfortable with, but be familiar with. Or I am familiar with it, but I had this is the feeling. That is the feeling that I need to be with. So, and there was no rhyme or reason for it to arise like it did. Like I was sitting there peacefully in my office, just eating I sat down to eat my lunch, and it was just so quiet. Oh fuck, I can think about it. There was nothing going on. Like work is going good. I'm kind of entrenching myself to be valuable, and like I'm doing well. Like everything is going my way. I chose to change jobs, move apartments, like all this stuff. It's happening. So stress of change, whatever you can call it, whatever you want to call it. But this was a full blown anxiety attack for what I can tell was no reason. But anyways, I'm talking a little fast because I want to get this all in and do a little bit of justice. So, um, yeah, after that happened, I really wanted to just kind of dig into it a little bit, and just I wanted to listen. I wanted to listen to an expert about it. So I ended up with a Mel Robbins video with Dr. Russell Kennedy, aka the Anxiety MD, and what he fucking said, ladies, gentlemen, and dragons, is the key. It's the key to the gateway. And it's going to be uncomfortable, so I apologize if I get emotional. So, fuck, where do I even start? Where do I even start? Okay, so a couple days ago, I said I felt a little overwhelmed, and that there was going to be layer after layer, and every step I take, it seems like it reveals 10 more steps down the road, and that it was like mile 80 of an ultra marathon, and it was inconceivably far. Like even though I traveled 80 miles already, there's still 20 more miles to go, and I don't know if I can do it, or like I can't picture how I'm going to do it, but I just have to have the faith that I'm going to do it, and that's where I was at. But now I can see, I caught a glimpse of the clarity that I crave. I caught a glimpse of it all. And today it kind of, the pieces are falling into place a little bit, I think. So, man, oh man. So what Dr. Kennedy, he related all anxiety. Let me just read what I wrote here. All anxiety originates from separation anxiety. So that is, as a child, you were being separated from parents, emotionally, physically, or mentally, and we blame ourselves because we're not in a mental state to kind of give responsibility to our parents. We think our parents are gods at this stage, so we internalize it. And Dr. Kennedy mentions it's the jabs. If we take jabs at ourselves at this young age, which is stands for judgment, abandonment, blame, and shame, and it's the birth of the inner critic. The inner critic is essentially what is it feeds the ego. It feeds the ego that will it will limit you throughout your growth, and it'll always remind you of the pain that you experienced back then, and it'll trigger this response in your body to be like alert. Um and the emotional pain that the emotional alertness that this causes is beyond like a physical threat. um and that's what he goes on to say. The body feelings, the feelings in the body, like not the thought, but the feelings in the body will trigger this fight or flight response, and that will trigger the thoughts. The scanning for threats, just looking for any reason to be threatened or to attach this harm to something. um my lights were on there, so I had to turn them off. uh so yeah, it becomes physically uncomfortable, which will trigger these, oh man, my head, trigger these racing thoughts, like, and that's your subconscious brain, aka your ego, scanning for threats, wanting to keep you safe, wanting you to withdraw from the threat that your body senses. Like your body is legitimately storing these emotions in the tissue, in the fascia, in the fucking nerves, in the brain. Like I'm not going to get into like all the terms and everything, but subconsciously it triggers this response, and it's conditioned from a very young age, and it's from trauma. Like it's what I thought about trauma growing up was that my childhood wasn't so bad. I didn't get beat, or I didn't get sexually assaulted or anything like that. But no, there was an emotional trauma there, and I'm starting to kind of see that. And it's oh, fuck me, man. It's a powerful fucking, so so Dr. Kennedy, he mentions these alarms. He calls these feelings in the body that arise based on this conditioned response. That he calls them alarms. He calls them body alarms that trigger your brain into scanning for threats. And this, he equates it to um the inner child that hasn't been healed is asking for attention. It's demanding your attention. Um, oh, it's so sad. It's not sad, but it's powerful. It. It makes sense. It makes so much sense. What he? Oh, fuck. Okay, hold it together here. The video's getting long, so I wanted to get this in. Um, so so these alarms are your inner child remembering the pain that remembering the pain that the jabs have caused, these judgment, abandonment, blame, and shame. And it's demanding attention and recognition. And the way um oh fuck. So this would trigger me to escape into my own head, rather than going into my body. Nobody wants to go into their body because that's the hard path. Like I can't remember anybody ever telling me to be aware of the feelings in your body. Like where do these thoughts come from? Like what is the sensation in your body before this happens? Like nobody's ever fucking told me that before. Um and yeah, he like I got so many fucking notes here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through it all, but um so yeah, rather than going into my body and analyzing what these feelings were that triggered this anxious response and this just feeling threatened. That's the best way I can put it. I feel threatened by everything. In these moments, like I'm comparing myself to others. I'm feeling unworthy. I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling all this shit. And it started when I was a kid. Like my father, he took me away. Like that's a whole other video in itself, but it's it's bang on, man. And a couple videos ago, I mentioned that rather than pushing forward, I need to stop and turn and face this. And that's exactly what he mentioned. Like, I need to turn towards the bodily feeling rather than the thoughts. He mentions that you can't think your way out of this. You cannot figure it out. And intellectualizing the feelings, which I have been doing the fucking every year that I remember. And I felt so helpless. I felt so fucking helpless, and it feeds it. It feeds these alarms where you're trying to study this, you're trying to fucking figure it out. Like, what's wrong with my brain? Why can't I stop these thinking? Why can't I stop these thoughts? These are so negative thoughts. Like, you can identify the fact that it's not serving you well. It's not a positive fucking train of thought that you're on when you're in these moments. Man, but the thoughts aren't the cause of this. I don't want to call it illness, but this response. The thoughts do not cause the response. The thoughts are a symptom of the response, and the response is from your body's conditioning to triggering your subconscious ego to keep you safe, to keep you warm, to keep you from harm, or keep you from experiencing the same pain as you did as a child. And it's not conscious at all. So it's fucking powerful shit. And the ego, yeah, the ego is trying to protect you, and it's basically the overprotective parent. So if you fall, just, yeah, he relates it to falling as a kid off the swings or something, and your ego mother will keep you from swinging on the swings again, or reminding you what happened last time. And it's the cognitive, um gosh, what's the word? Cognitive distortion. So, like, all or nothing thinking, or like, it'll just remind you with these thoughts. And oh man. So it's, yeah, the inner child is asking for love, reassurance, and attention. And that's what was lacking when this response was conditioned and reinforced over the years for any number of reasons. I won't get into mine a whole lot. I've probably talked about it in previous videos, but and he says nobody's coming to save you. These anxious feelings is essentially your psychological process of wanting a parent to come and save you. Because he mentions that these memories don't have an age, they don't have a concept of time. So it's like I'm reverting back to that point in time, and I just want a parent's love. I want a parent's recognition, to validate my feelings, to hold me and say everything's going to be okay, and maybe explain what the fuck happened. But anyway, um, so nobody's going to come to save me. I'm pretty sure I said that multiple times throughout this journey. Going back to THC free 2023 playlist, to my Seeds of Spring playlist. Or no, sorry, that's the current one. From THC free to Winds of Winter to now. I've said it before, I said it again, that nobody's coming to save you. And yeah, thoughts aren't going to set you free. You need to feel this to heal it. And it's not something that you can think through. There's no shortcuts, there's no book you can read that'll trigger this breakthrough. But you need to feel it to heal it, and take a neck down approach and analyze what your body is feeling. It's storing so many little messages that are from your circumstances and from your experience and from your learned behaviors, and the feelings of being separate Man, it's like just so fucking. Oh man, this is it. Like this is it. This is it. This is my battle that I need to be on, and I'm. And again, I don't remember what video I related. I think it was quitting weed that I related to. I think I called it Odysseus and the Siren Island, but it's the Odyssey, and it's about Ulysses, and these sirens are he relates these sirens to your thoughts, and they'll these sirens will attract passing ships to the shore and then turn into monsters and murder all the sailors. So they masquerade as these beautiful women and this mesmerizing song, and they beckon you over, and then once you're trapped, then they fucking just murder you. And the way Ulysses conquers them is he gets his gets his crew to tie him to a mast and plug his ears with beeswax, and they all cover their ears. So on his way home, he tells them if he begs them to set him free just to tie his ropes tighter. No, sorry, Ulysses exposes himself to the siren song because that is the only way. Anyway, you know what? I'm not even going to get into that. I fucking talked about it before, but Ulysses and Siren Island, just fucking look into that. And thinking and trying to solve it with thoughts makes the alarm more powerful because there is no solving it with thought. The thoughts are the symptom and not a cause, and feeling to heal is getting to the root of the cause. And the feelings start before the thoughts. So that in itself is a fucking huge takeaway for me. And the way I haven't made it through the whole video yet, but he mentions finding a safe place in your body. And it's basically a meditation where, like, for instance, he uses his sinuses where he focuses in on the silence or he focuses on his sinus, and he basically just touches them, and he breathes deeply, and then he'll allow himself to go into the alarm with his physical touch wherever it originates from. For me, it would be my stomach and my chest, and the solar plexus, I guess. That fucking new term for me, but it, like, everything just fucking ties into each other. So in that way, you can kind of come back to your control and back into the alarm and just really take control, not control of it, but you're allowing it to happen. You're sending love into it. You're allowing it to return and come back, and really just acknowledge its presence. There's no escaping it. So just to be with it and to allow it, to observe it, and to show it love. Like it's basically a child screaming for attention or screaming for love. So the more you turn away from it, the more you ignore it. Like it either shuts down and you get depressed, and it just like goes fucking ignore everything mode, like fuck this, or it'll get loud and obnoxious, and oh fuck. And the way that I have, or the way that most people will deal with this, you can go either way. You can either ignore it and shun it, or you can acknowledge it and really not know how to um, metabolize it. So you're always pursuing these achievements, this positive acknowledgement of you're channeling the negative energy into what is it? Where's my fucking note at here? You're taking the negative energy and channeling it into a direction so I don't have to feel it. So this is an addiction to negative stress. And that's kind of what fed me for so long. Like when I got kicked out of the Navy, I was channeling that energy into a direction so I didn't have to feel these feelings. I was like, fuck you guys, I'm going to show you. I will show you what I'm made of. I will prove you all wrong. And, it's powerful stuff, man. It's powerful stuff here. So it's all unconscious. Like there's nothing that you can do consciously to kind of rectify this. Um, no, I said that wrong. It's an unconscious process, so you have to make it conscious in order to rectify it. And intellectualizing emotions is not healing. You can analyze it and dissect it all you want, but until you feel it, until you acknowledge this inner child that needs love and healing, you can sound like an expert all you want, but it's just not going to do you any good. And that explains so much. Like I'm so self-aware. I feel like I'm so like I'm intuitive. I'm in touch with my mind to the sense I can identify that nothing, like, it's not right, but I did not expect that. Intellectualizing my emotions is how like intelligent people will approach this. They're not looking. Nobody tells you to fucking look into your body. Nobody tells you that. Um, you will not figure it out on your own. You need to feel it. And trauma is in the body. It's not in the mind. It's not in your thoughts. It's in the body. It's stored in your cells. It's on a molecular level. And you need to bring that to the conscious realm, into the healing place, into your consciousness, into the world. Essentially, you need to shine your light on this for all to see. And like this, oh my god, this video is getting long. So, anyways, I have one final note here that I'll leave this on. And the reason you're anxious is because you block love from yourself. And that is 100% true. That feeds into like my feelings of unworthiness in my, like, I wouldn't say I had a low self-esteem lately, but no, you know what? It's fair. It's absolutely fair to say, because I will compare myself to others. I do 100% do that, especially on Instagram or something. Jesus Christ, it was the other night that I seen my girlfriend liked some posts, and it just like automatically like, oh, I feel so unworthy, or like, even being called attractive by my very loving girlfriend. Like there's always the back of my mind like, yeah, she doesn't really mean that, or it's the fucking negative fucking self-talk that no rationale whatsoever. Like, I'm obviously she fucking speaking the truth. Like, she probably never told a lie in her life. So like, why am I even fucking thinking like that? But at the same time, I can't. Like, it all ties into each other. I get frustrated on myself, but I'm harsh on myself, and that's because of my inner critic. That is because I don't show love to my inner child. And that ties into a couple of days ago, I mentioned I wanted to write a letter to my younger self and to my now deceased father, who more or less caused all of this directly. I wish I could fucking sit him down for a chat, but I cannot. And that might be the hardest thing to acknowledge right now, is that I'm this is a path that I must take, and this is a burden I must carry. So onward I will go. This is this is the peak of this mountain. And like, it obviously, this whole thing ties into addiction. He says there's not one person that's addicted to anything that is immune to anxiety. So it's all tied together. This video's gotten super long. Anyways, I hope there's some value in here. Not just me rambling. I feel like I'm out of breath because I talk so damn much, and it's 10:01. So yeah, that's a good time to be done with this. I still got to upload it and stuff, but I think this is the most powerful one yet. Oh my god, the dragon is fucking going now. Let's fucking go. And we still got about a whole week of these the Seeds of Spring videos, so we're doing some good work. We're doing some fucking wicked work. I fucking see the light. I fucking see the light. It's there. It's there. It's there. Little Nick's gonna get some love. Little Big Nick's gonna get some love. Like, I'm gonna hug myself. I'm gonna kiss myself in the mirror, give myself a high five, because we're getting there. We're figuring this shit out, and it ain't easy. It is not easy. So, oh God, pray for me. Peace, love, and clarity. I'm out. Let the dragon breathe his fire, baby.